prey I've ever seen.
Robots. Dozens of them. All shapes and sizes.
Go on.
And on the stage,
Hey,
their leader.
let me ask you
Another
something.
robot. No. Not a robot.
Something wrong?
Well, I sort of had the same question.
Costume.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
Boss needs about that talk.
Why do you ask?
I just had a hard go with the transition myself. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point. And folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away.
Broken mask?
This was long before I'd moved to town, but apparently some gentleman type shows up in Diamond City, heads down to Power Noodles. Guess he didn't like the food because he pulled his pistol and opened fire on the folks enjoying theirs. When security finally put enough holes in him to drop him, they say he was full of servos and sprockets, just like yours truly. Seems he malfunctioned, went berserk. It was the first time people realized that synths had stopped looking like me and started looking like them. Considering what these folks went through, I felt real lucky they let me in the front gate at all.
Massacre of the CPG? What's that?
The Commonwealth Provisional Government. Years back, a group of settlements tried to get together and form a coalition. Every settlement with even a hint of clout sent representatives to try and hash out an agreement. Only the Institute sent a representative of their own, a synth. The man killed every rep at the talks. The Commonwealth Provisional Government was over before it even got off the ground. I took up in town not long after. I was damn lucky they didn't just tell me to scram right then and there.
Malignant, am I? No, mistress of mystery. But you mistake.
Why'd they let you in?
Because I'd rescued the mayor's daughter, gal of about 15. Pride and joy of the mayor back then. Man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young Miss Roberts decided she'd run off with some caravan hand she'd, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing, just stumbled on a crying girl and 4 toughs. I took her home and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that.
You took down 4 guys by yourself?
I didn't have to. Back then, synths were even more of an unknown quantity than they are today. I told them I was rigged to explode and started going beep, beep, beep. Hardest part of that rescue was keeping from laughing as they climbed over each other to get away.
It's time to pay.
Was it hard settling in?
Yeah, they sure didn't make it easy. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the Synth, but it was Nick the Detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving?
Silver Shroud. Shall we?
We shall.
I've got a weapon here for every situation. Hunting, protection,
Stop right there!
cold-blooded
Not a step
murder.
closer! You may have defeated my robot children, but now I will turn your own weapon against you.
Silver Shroud.
I heard you walk that
He's
freedom
armed with
trail.
your Silver Shooter, your most
Hey.
revered
Oh,
rifle.
a new face walks
So
into my
he is,
store.
mistress.
And you're not
So
even screaming
he
yet.
is.
Very polite.
All
You
right,
let me know if
Mechanist.
anything
It's
catches
your
your
move.
fancy.
Shoot! If you've got the
Did you say something about people screaming at you?
That's right. Some newcomers have never seen a ghoul before. Can't handle a friendly face, I say. So you need some supplies?
Got any work?
I do, actually. Super mutants have taken over the old Boston Public Library. I got a lot of fond memories of that place from when I was a girl and human. You get those lumbering brutes out of there, I'll pay you 200 caps.
Right off your raiment. Right back at
I don't think that's enough money to cover clearing out a whole building.
That's right,
Look,
mistress.
I've been shilling deals for 2 centuries, and you just overplayed your hand. The job's 200 caps. Take it or leave
The
it.
silver weapon of the Silver Shroud can never harm.
What's a super
the
mutant?
Silver
They're
Shroud.
big. That's why I'm putting.
You got a deal, Daisy.
Thanks. Hey, while you're there, could you return this book for me? It's from the library. Don't even ask how long it's been overdue.
All I wanted,
I think we ought to talk.
life, a better Commonwealth.
What's wrong?
Wrong? Oh, no,
Free from
nothing's
petty
wrong.
squabbles.
We've just been traveling a while now, and I figure there hasn't exactly been equitable distribution of information. I've gotten a decent glimpse into your dirty laundry, but you still don't really know a whole heck of a lot about me. I figured I'd offer to balance the board. So, is there anything you want to know?
Yes, it is time we knew the truth. Who is the Mechanist?
By the rays of Ra, the Mechanist is none
What do you
other
remember
than...
about the Institute?
It's all pretty hazy from back then, but now and then I get glimpses.
It all makes sense.
Life inside the Institute, they keep you isolated. A single test chamber was my whole world for years. And someone was always watching. Then one day you wake up on the other side. And that's it. They've cut you loose.
You
Welcome
could
to the
turn
brave
your little
new
hobby
world.
into a
Such
full-time
people in it.
endeavor. And the real estate papers?
So who are you, Nick?
That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. I know I'm a synth, authentic Institute handiwork, but I'm still mechanical, not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups. But my memories, my personality, they're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war. They scanned his brain and copied it onto the hardware that runs between my ears. I don't know why they chose to make a robot based on some pre-war cop instead of a math genius or a bioengineer. Hey, maybe that's why the Institute tossed me in the garbage instead of turning me into one of their people snatchers.
Death has come for you,
Wait,
Mayor Murphy.
the original Nick
I
was from
am its
my time?
shroud.
Sure was. Which meant when I finally ended up out here, it was quite the rude awakening. I remember waking up one day in a garbage heap, a body in tatters and a head full of memories belonging to a man who'd been dead for 200 years. Suffice to say, it was a confusing couple of weeks. Folks didn't really know much about synths back then, so when I finally ran into people, they mostly treated me with caution rather than hostility. Kids, they weren't afraid. I think his name was Jim. The first person to actually speak to me after I got the boot from the Institute. My first human contact in this world. Grilled me for an hour.
Looks like someone got
Once
lost
they'd
on
seen
the
I
wrong
wasn't going to
side
hurt
of the
anyone, the
tracks.
other folks in the neighborhood came out to ogle the mechanical man. It eventually turned into a pretty swell soiree. Local mechanic even gave me a once-over free of charge. Those people, they treated me like a human being.
Not so
I've been
fast,
trying to return the
fancy
favor ever since.
Your wallet,
It's a surprisingly
and that
rare
fancy
trait out here
briefcase.
sometimes.
Hand 'em
Something
over.
I've noticed you got a
Now.
fondness for. Part of the reason I've stuck around this long.
Do you have any idea who...
Where's that town? We should go visit.
Tried to go back and say thanks once I'd gotten myself
Because he could have
established.
made us, that's
But
why.
the place was
You wanna
wiped
spend
off the
another stretch
map.
in the pokey?
Raiders.
Now,
Don't know what happened to the
this
people.
fancy case.
I do what's needed.
Well, you certainly seem to
Payment,
judge
no cash,
doing
it's
good
worthless.
pretty high on your list of
Get his
necessities.
wallet.
Well, I expect you're about as
Got it.
bored as can be listening to me rattle my skeletons.
All right.
Should probably head out.
$20, a driver's license.
Don't be shy now.
Oh, man.
Chances are
we
we
done
have
it this
whatever
time.
you're looking
You know who
for.
this is? We just wasted Mayor Murphy.
What?
Whoever this
The Mayor
Brotherhood of
Murphy.
Steel is,
What
I'm
the
not
blazes was
buying
he
that
doing
we
up
come
here?
in peace.
Up in Scully Square.
A mystery, to be sure.
Who said that? Show yourself.
You have murdered a man in cold blood.
Fancy, huh?
Justice must
yeah.
be served.
It's the Silver Shroud. Let's get out of here.
I ain't afraid of the Silver Shroud. You hear me? Come out and I'll do you
Hey,
like I
you.
did the mayor.
Looking for work?
Death has come for you.
What kind of work?
evildoer.
It's good work. Under the supervision of the best boss you'll ever have. If you don't mind a little manual labor and don't ask too many questions, you're in. I'll give you 50 caps to
My
start.
work here is done.
Interested?
Or is it? What brought you to
I'm gonna need
Scully
more to go
Square,
on here.
Murphy?
You're just gonna have to trust me.
And Boston
You can do
leaders.
better than that.
Why
Fine.
venture?
Take 100 up front.
Emerge from the shadows,
I'm gonna need more to go
Unleash
on
the
here.
justice
You're just
of
gonna
the
have to
Silver
trust me.
Shroud.
I'm in.
That's what I like to hear. Let's go inside.
Find out what
I'll give
happens
you the
next
lowdown.
week on another exciting episode of The Silver Shroud.
You've been listening to Galaxy News Radio, a wholly owned subsidiary of Galaxy News Network.
Galaxy News Radio.
When evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding the innocent, judging the guilty. That guardian is the Silver Shroud. Today's episode, the mystery of Mayor Murphy.
You building a collection or something?
Slowly now. Reveal yourself.
Silver Shroud. Fret not, old friend. It's only me.
Mistress of Mystery. What brings you to Scully Square on such a foul night?
Tracking our dear Mayor Murphy, who is up to some mischief.
The mayor. So he wasn't here in some kind of official capacity.
Hardly.
Ready to get
Here,
going?
let me show you. The contents of the late mayor's case.
But these are
Bobby,
So,
real
here's
estate
the deal.
papers. Leases
You
and
are
deeds
gonna
for
be
most of
doing
the
some
businesses
digging.
in Scully Square.
what are we digging
Indeed, they
for?
are,
Buried
my
treasure?
intrepid
You could
investigator.
call it that.
It would seem
But
our
seriously,
Mayor Murphy
lay
was
off the
involved in a
questions.
rather
The other
crooked
two are down there digging already.
He was here
Go
to
give him
meet
a
with
hand,
some
will
other
ya?
mysterious malefactor.
So, Mr. Mayor, I hope you found the place all... What the? Silver Shroud? And Mistress of Mystery? And the Mayor? Dead?
Hey,
What's the plan?
The infamous
Here's what
mob
I've
boss.
got.
So, you were meeting with Mayor Murphy. But why? Tell me, and you may yet live.
Best listen to my friend, Fahey.
I'll never talk. And you two are in over your heads.
So be it. Death has come for you, evildoer, and I am its
Shroud. Shroud this crime fighter? Later, suckers!
Bobby will pay us this week?
I don't know, man.
Starting to feel like a charity. I just hear something. Crawling with wireless. Fail! Bobby can take this job and shove it.
Good luck down there, new guy.
For it now!
Got it.
What is going on in my tunnel?
That room was filled with Mirelurks. Why didn't you plan for this?
This was not expected, but that doesn't mean I don't have a plan. It's gonna take a lot more than a couple Mirelurks to stop me. Well, you stuck around at least. So I guess you're promoted. You get to be my new gun. I think we just need one more guy. An old friend. He'll want a fair cut, but we saw what being cheap got me.
Who is this guy?
He's just the guy we need to speed things along. Likes gadgets, money, and not much else. First, I think it's best if you actually see what we're after. I have some things to check on in Diamond City. Head over to the noodle shop there, and I'll meet you when I finish up my business.
I got a pretty good track record cracking those old things. Want me to take a swing at that terminal?
Hey everyone, gather around. Let's kick the breeze, man. Shoot the fat. Now I know you all are doing your own thing, but I don't want anyone here to forget what matters. Hey, Daisy, glad you can make it. How's my favorite girl doing? Didn't I see you on a date with Borowski the other day?
He wishes.
All right, we're getting off track. What was I saying?
Stay free, man.
That's right. What matters? We freaks gotta stick together. And the best way to stick together is to keep an eye out for what drives us apart. You feel me?
Now,
what out there in our big, friendly Commonwealth want to drive us apart? What kind of twisted, unneighborly boogeyman? Peaceful.
Hell of a load you're carrying. Better sell some to Daisy before someone swipes it.
Coming up to my office later. You've earned yourself some jet. The Institute. They're the real enemy. Not the Raiders.
Cleo.
Not the super mutants. Not even those tools over in Diamond City.
I don't know, Hancock. I'd sure love to give McDonough a kick in the ass.
Hey, we all know I got my own personal beef with that lardhead. But stay focused. Now, I want everyone to keep the Institute in mind. When someone starts acting funny. When people are doing things they don't normally do. When family starts pushing you away for no reason. We all know who's behind that kind of shit. And the only way to stop it is to stick together. They can't control us if we're not afraid. Now, who's scared of the Institute?
Not us!
And which town in the Commonwealth should the Institute not fuck with?
Good neighbor!
And who's in charge of good neighbor?
Hancock!
Of the people! For the people!
You should stop by my store during the day. Daisy's Discounts. Everything you need for the road.
Hancock says newcomers are